Hello, welcome everybody to another episode of Stache Sports. Today's episode, we're going to talk about the United States game tonight versus Turkey, and hope all you Stachers are having a good game. We're also going to talk about the new sale and new ownership of the Pittsburgh Penguins. We're going to talk about the Penguins' minor trade and what I think about it. We're going to talk about how the Pirates have won their last two games against the Seattle Mariners, the top team in the division, not the Pirates. The Seattle Mariners are the top team in the AL, whatever, East or West or whatever heck they're in. But we'll get into that later on in the episode. But right now, tonight at 10 p.m. on Fox Sports 1, the United States of America, USA, plays against Turkey tonight and looking to sweep the group stage. Right now, they've already won the group stage, and they've already punched their ticket to the round of 32. So I think tonight's game is basically just as friendly. So I don't think tonight's game really means anything. But now that brings me to another point in this episode. Point number 2 for the United States. But does that mean the new coach that the United States hired this year, does that mean he tries to bring in the substitutes tonight and play some of the bench players and give them some time to rest some of the players for the round of 32? Because the round of 32 is a knockout round. You don't need to be losing that. So do you rest some of the players to avoid injury? I mean, I know injuries suck and it's not a part of the game, but what do? Do you rest your players tonight or do you play them? I don't know. That's a tough question, and that's going to be a tough question for the coach for the United States of America to decide tonight what he decides to do. I mean, if I was him, I don't know what I would do if I'll play him or I'll rest him. I mean, you have other players on the bench, and I still think our bench players can outscore Turkey because Turkey really hasn't been looking good in it at all. I mean, they did a good eat on Thanksgiving. That's a joke. But the Turkey hasn't been looking good at all, and the United States has been looking pretty strong. I mean, it's going to be interesting. Is Turkey going to score themselves tonight? Is the United States going to have 3 games back-to-back where every team has scored on them? It's going to be interesting to see. The reason it's at 10 p.m. is because it's in San Francisco where the 49ers play, so it's on the West Coast. But that's going to be a late game on the East Coast, 10 p.m. Eastern time, but I'll be watching the game and hoping the United States wins. But I don't know. If I were the coach, I might rest some of the players and put some of the bench players in and give them some time. But that's a tough decision. I mean, like I said, I don't think it's really going to affect it, but we'll see. We'll get back to that game here in a minute. Last night's World Cup games, Brazil won 3-0 against Scotland. And Scotland is on the verge of not making it to the round of 32. But we'll see what happens. They still have other games and other group matches to worry about. But Scotland lost 3-0 last night to Brazil. Haiti won last night 2-1, I'm pretty sure. But we'll double check here in a minute when I can get the scoreboards up. But we'll definitely check here. Last night, Wednesday, Brazil won 3-0. Vinny Jr. nets double as Brazil tops group stage with a win. I mean, Brazil's looking pretty tough. Brazil came out in the first game and it didn't look all that tough in the first game and ended up drawing in the first game. But but Brazil has looked pretty good since. Scotland needs to look better so they can move on to the next round. But let's hope Scotland can move on to the next round because Scotland has some quite the fans, and I would really like to see them on in the next round. And I would really like to see them on in the next round of this cup to see what else the fans can do. But we'll see. It's going to be an interesting time of the year right now because of the World Cup. But we'll see. And like I said yesterday, Morocco won 4-2 against Haiti. Morocco survives Haiti. The score would be under 2 dogs. Mexico won 3-0. Mexico's looking pretty tough too. It's going to be interesting to see if the United States plays Mexico because they're looking like one of the top teams. And South Africa won 1-0. South Africa advances to the knockout rounds for the first time in South Africa's history. So congratulations to South Africa. I watched the end of that game. Congratulations to South Africa on making it to the next round. Congratulations to South Africa on making it to the next round on the first time ever in team history. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. I don't know how far they'll make it in the next round, but at least they can say they made it in the next round after beating North Korea 1-0. North Korea, I think, might got eliminated or look on the brink of elimination, but I don't know. Once the round of 32 comes out, I'll be more than happy to talk about it. The Ivory Coast is winning 1-0. The Ivory Coast is looking really good this year. I don't know what it is about the Ivory Coast, but they're looking really good. They're beating Qatar 1-0. I think the Ivory Coast is going to hold off and win this game. Ecuador and Germany are tied at 1-1. I think Germany's going to squeak it out like they did the other game, but near the end of the game, and I think Germany wins 2-1. Sweden plays Japan tonight at 7 p.m. I think Sweden beats Japan, and it's going to be pretty sweet for the Swedes. I think Netherlands beats Tushana. I think Australia beats Paraguay. And I think the United States tonight at 10 p.m. beat Turkey. And like I said, it's going to be interesting to see. Do you play your starters? Hopefully if they do. I wonder if they're going to play Pulisic, because I saw Pulisic Jr. might be coming back. Or Pulisic, however you say his name, might be coming back for the United States. But I don't know if you want to risk it by playing them tonight, because like I said, earlier, it doesn't really mean anything for the United States. But I think the United States will do good. It's going to be interesting. I don't know who's going to be playing tonight for the men's United States game. But I think they win 3-0 tonight. Let's go to the squad. If the starters play, I think Richards might have a goal tonight. I think Robinson has a goal tonight. Or Freeman has a goal tonight. Maybe McKenzie has a goal. But it's going to be interesting to see. But I still think the United States will win 3-0. I'm not going to predict the scores because I don't know who's playing, because I haven't came out with the match card yet. So I don't know if they're going to start the starters. I mean, it'll be good to start the starters to keep them in. But the United States needs to look dominant so people can talk about how good they're going to be in the next round. They don't need to take Turkey lightly, and they need to keep doing good against Turkey. But hopefully the United States wins tonight. We'll talk more about the United States game tomorrow and recap the United States game. The United States are looking really tough right now. They're looking like one of the teams to beat, and hopefully they do, because that's something the United States needs. They need a great game and a great bounce back game. I mean, not bounce back, they haven't lost, Craig. They need a great game tonight to keep on looking strong. But if they have their backups in, they need to play strong too and play good. They need to have a good game and now score Turkey. Turkey has not looked good at all, like I said. They've been losing all their games, so hopefully the United States can look good. Maybe Des has a goal tonight. Maybe Richards has a goal. Maybe Antonio Robinson. Maybe Austin Tree. Maybe Miles Robinson. Maybe Tim Ream. Maybe Alex Freeman has a goal. Maybe Martinez has a goal. Maybe Joe Scully has a goal. Maybe Tyler Adams has a goal. But we'll see. Maybe Giovanni Rene is looking pretty good. Maybe he has a goal tonight if he starts and they don't go with the bench players, because he's looking pretty good for the United States in the starting stretch. But the United States is looking pretty good. They've won their group stage and did that for the first time since like 2010. I think this United States team can go pretty far, in my personal Stache's opinion. I hope you Stachers are enjoying it, that are watching the World Cup. But they're looking really good right now. So last time they can keep looking good and keep winning. It's going to be a good game tonight, I think, because I don't think Turkey stands a chance, but we'll see. I know I'm right in my mouth and saying Turkey doesn't stand a chance and they might win tonight, but it's a friendly. So let's hope the United States still plays tough. Even though it's a friendly, it's still in the thing, and you still want to look tough against other opponents and not try to give up an easy game to Turkey, but we'll see. But now we're going to switch to baseball. The Pirates finally came back and won a series after losing to the Colorado Rockies, which I don't get. I mean, that's just something the Steelers and the Pirates do a lot. That irritates me and ticks me off sometimes. It's when they play worse teams. It's when they play worse teams, they play down to the competition. I mean, that's what irritates me about the Pirates and the Steelers. And then when they play better teams like the Seattle Mariners, who lead their division, they play better and win games. They need us to keep playing better all year round and all times around. But congratulations to the Pirates. Last night, the Pirates won 11-1. They definitely brought it back when Ashcraft was good. And Ashcraft had like 5 strikeouts. Ashcraft had Braxton Ashcraft had one of his better games for the Pittsburgh Pirates last night and looks really good. I'm really glad that Braxton Ashcraft is with the Pirates because he's one of our second best pitchers right now. And we'll go back into that game last night. First, the Mets lost 10-3. The Indians won 4-3 last night. The Rockies won 8-6. The Tampa Bay Rays won 5-3. The New York Yankees won 4-2 over the Tigers. The Pirates won 11-1, which we'll get back in a minute. The Houston Astros won 3-1 over the Blue Jays. The Mets lost 10-5 against the Cubs. The Cubs won both of their games. The Dodgers won 4-3. The Marlins won 4-2. The Angels beat the Orioles 7-6. The Phillies beat the Nationals 5-4. The Brewers beat the Reds 6-5, and that's who the Pirates play next. It's the Reds. The Diamondbacks won 9-4. The Braves won or lost 5-2, and the Giants won 2-1. The Pirates won last night's game and didn't have a home run. They had 2 home runs today, which we'll get into later when we talk about today's game. But we'll recap it, and we're going back to tonight's last game. But raise the Jolly Roger, and let's go Bucks! Last night, Braxton Ashcraft went 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 earned run, and 10 Ks. That's one of his highest Ks nights. He looked pretty good. He was striking out the side. He had a couple hiccups here and there, but he striked out the side for the most part, and he looked really good. Thank you, Braxton Ashcraft, for making a good game last night. The Pirates started off the scoring in the 4th inning when Rodriguez doubled. Andy Rodriguez needs to be the catcher every day, even though Henry Davis had a home run looking pretty good. Maybe now, if Rodriguez is doing good, maybe you can get Henry Davis out of his slump, and Henry Davis can start hitting good. I mean, Henry Davis did have a better game today, but I'm going on to today's game, but we'll get into that later. They played at 12:35 today, so that's why I'm talking about today's game. But last night, they played at 6:40, and won last night's game. So Rodriguez doubled its right, and Gonzalez scored, and Harn scored. Gonzalez is looking really good, looking like our everyday third baseman, which is good. But the bad thing about last night, I'm pretty sure it was either last night or I think it was last night, Spencer Horowitz got hurt on a play and is now on a 10-day DL. I mean, the other good news is today, Connor Griffin was in the dugout and had his first game last night in AA Altoona, Pennsylvania, of the curve. Not Pittsburgh, Altoona, Pennsylvania, of the curve, and was pretty good and had 2 RBIs. So hopefully he's coming up strong sooner than later, because we really need Connor Griffin to come up, and we need his bat now, but we lost Spencer Horowitz on the 10-day DL. Luckily, hopefully it's not longer than 10 days, and he can come back. But I still don't have any news on O'Neal Cruz. Hopefully Cruz is starting to heal up and can come back sooner rather than later too, because that's something that the Pirates need. They need O'Neal Cruz to start playing better, and they need Cruz to look better. I mean, they need Cruz to get healthy, and need him back in the lineup, because we are missing that bat. But I mean, luckily they had a lot of bats last night, and we were able to get enough runs today to win, but we'll see. But let's go back to the last night's game. And it's nice to see Braxton Ashcraft doing good, because I think Braxton Ashcraft is our second best pitcher, like I said yesterday in yesterday's video, if you Stashers and Andrew seen it. And then in the 4th inning, Callahan tripled to right. Callahan's looking pretty good. Callahan's one of these young upcomers that came up during injuries and is looking pretty good. Hopefully Callahan can keep having a good at bat, because that's something the Pirates need. And then Valdez single to center. Valdez came in, I think, because the injury to Spencer Horowitz, but that's good to come in and single to left center and Magnum score. Magnum PI, or Jake Magnum, is looking pretty good. We also got Magnum on the trade of Brandon Lau, and Brandon Lau is looking pretty good too for the Pirates. Hopefully they can keep Brandon Lau and Magnum, because that's a good trade. That's one of the best trades the Pirates have done in quite some memory. Besides trading all our good players and getting crap, that's something they got back that was actually rewarding. I mean, I got a couple of decent trades in the recent past, but at least that's something they did better with. O'Harn double to right. O'Harn was a good assignment too this year. I mean, they finally got their offense going. Let's let the pitching can start going in the second half of the month. But season. Double to right. Lau scored, Reynolds to second, and Gonzalez to third. Reynolds has one of the hottest bats right now for the Pirates in this month. Let's hope Brian Reynolds can continue. Brian Reynolds has really turned around his career, and it's really looking a lot better for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Last year, it looked like Brian Reynolds was a shell of himself, but luckily this year, I think maybe with the offensive help, it really helped Brian Reynolds get a lot better, and look a lot better. But we'll see what happens to the Pirates. But read the Jolly Roger. They won last night. Rodriguez singled again. Rodriguez was looking pretty good. To Gonzalez, making it 8-1. And then Callahan scored, hit a sacrifice fly to left. O'Haran scored, making it 9-1. Reynolds doubled to center, and Valdez scored, making it 10-1. And then O'Haran doubled to right, and Cook scored, making it 11-1. That's good to see the Pirates win 11-1. But like I said, I always say, let's hope the Pirates can have a good game the next day and save some of those runs for tomorrow. Because sometimes when they win by that much and they don't save some of those runs, they don't have a good game. But today was Bubba Chandler, and sometimes Bubba Chandler has a tough game. But did Bubba Chandler have a tough game today? I guess we'll find out here in a minute. Or did Bubba Chandler have a good game? I mean, Bubba Chandler has been on and off the last few games. So, what kind of game did Bubba Chandler have today, Stashers? Oh, thank you for asking me, Stashers, what kind of game Bubba Chandler had today. He had a pretty good game today, and the Pirates were able to hold off the Mariners and win a series. The game was at 12:35. The Pirates won 5-1. Brandon Lau had a home run, and never guessed the Stashers. Guess who had another home run? I'll give you a minute to guess. Time's up. Henry Davis had the other home run for the Pirates. The Pirates had 2 home runs today, and when they had 11 hits yesterday, didn't have not one home run in the game. And the last time the Pirates were above 500 and had a winning record with this many games played, whatever 41 plus 40 is, the Pirates, or it's back in 2015 when the Pirates were above 500 at this part of the season, of having 41 games and having played 41 games and losing 40 games. The Pirates have finally above 500 for the first time this season since 2015. And if you Stache and Pirate diehard fans remember, 2015 was the last time the Pirates made a postseason as a wildcard team. Can this team make it? I mean, after watching these 2 games, I got my Bucko fever back, and yes, I think they could make it. This Bucko team's looking pretty good. They just need to get the pitching and the bullpen in order. The bullpen has led up, like my dad said yesterday, and a couple days ago, that the bullpen has led up 17 games and won 17 games, or 17-17 a couple days ago. I mean, they've won more games today since that. But that's not good. If they would have at least turned some of their 17 losses into wins, they'd be a lot better this year, not 41-40. I mean, the bullpen has really blown a lot of these games to the Pirates, and that's not good. I mean, let's hope the Pirates can keep doing good, because that's something they need to do, but they won today. But they won today, so let's hope the Pirates can keep doing good. But let's hope the Pirates can keep doing good. Here is the scoring for the Pirates. Like I said, Lau started off the game with a home run. Lau's looking pretty good. Lau had a lot of home runs, and it's really looking good. I think the Pirates might be on pace this year to have the most home runs in franchise history, or the most home runs in quite a while. They're looking a lot better and starting to hit the deep ball. That's something the Pirates really struggled with last year, is having home runs and really hitting the ball good. But finally, the Pirates are looking a lot better and hitting the ball a lot better, and their offense is looking really good. Their offense is one of the top still in baseball and looking really good. And then in the third, and then Davis home run to right, Beat and Trujillo scored. That's nice to see a 2-run home run and to see one from Davis. Hopefully it's starting to get Davis his feet back under him, and Davis can start hitting, because that's something the Pirates need too. They need Henry Davis to start hitting, and they need Henry Davis to start hitting sooner rather than later. I mean, it'd be nice to see Henry Davis hit the ball and not keep striking out. But that's something the Pirates need, is have Henry Davis keep hitting the ball. But that's good. But he did it good today. But he did good today, so we'll see what happens to that. Lau singled to center, and Davis scored, because Davis had a double to begin the game, which is good. It's good to see Davis finally hitting. Let's hope this can get Davis out of Davis' slump, because Henry Davis has been in the slump. But if he can get hitting, and we keep having Andy Rodriguez hit, and then this bar trade is not looking so bad, even if Spencer Hunter Stratton doesn't do good, then this bar trade is not looking that bad. If we can get both our catchers to start hitting better. I mean, that's something the Pirates need. They need their catchers to start hitting a lot better, and they need their catchers to do a lot better now. But if the Pirates can keep doing good and keep having the catchers do good, then that'll be really good for the Pirates. But let's hope the Pirates can do good and have their... That's what the Pirates need. And the harnessing on the right and Reynolds scored. Reynolds is looking really good. Like I said, his bat's one of the best. And the Harness looking really good right now too. But that's all about the Pirates right now. Since they played already today, they play tomorrow against the Cincinnati Reds. They play tomorrow against the Cincinnati Reds. The Reds. They play tomorrow against the Reds. The Pirates play tomorrow against the Cincinnati Reds. Let's know the other baseball games before we switch the topic to NHL hockey. The Tigers are going to win tonight. The Blue Jays are going to win tonight. The Cubs are going to win tonight. The Yankees are going to beat the Red Sox. The Tampa Bay Rays won 13-2. Wow, they smoked the Kansas City Royals. The Pirates won 5-1. The Pirates won 5-1 over Seattle Mariners to win that series. The Athletics are winning 2-1, but I think the Giants come back and win. I think the Phillies win tonight. I think the Diamondbacks win tonight. The Pittsburgh Pirates have officially been sold to the Hoffman Group, but the Hoffman Group says it's not an investment like the Fenway Group had that owned them before after Mario Lemieux sold them. And now the the Hoffman Group, the new ownership of the Pittsburgh Penguins is saying that they're going to bring back Mario Lemieux as any capacity as he wants to do, whatever he wants to do, will grant him that access. So that's good for the Penguins, That's good for the Pittsburgh Penguins because Mario Lemieux was a huge player and one of the best players before Sidney Crosby and one of the best Penguin players of all time next to Sidney Crosby. So it's good to see that Mario Lemieux is coming back in the full for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Let's hope Mario Lemieux can come back and do something strong. But that's something the Fenway Group did too. They kind of edged him out, and that's what kind of ticked off the fans about the Fenway Group. But luckily now we have the Hoffman Group, and the Hoffman Group looks like they want to bring back a Stanley Cup to Pittsburgh and keep the franchise here, which is good. Because that's something I always fear when a new organization, a new ownership comes in, is they might want to move the team or do something stupid with the team. But luckily the Hoffman Group is saying all the right things right now. But they want to build a franchise here, or continue the franchise here, and bring more Stanley Cups to Pittsburgh. Let's hope they can do that, and let's hope they can bring back Mario Lemieux in a good capacity, because Mario Lemieux, like I said, is one of the top players for the Penguins of all time. And it was really good when he was here the last time. I know Kyle Dubas and company are doing pretty good, and they made a minor trade today, which I don't really know how good it is, to be quite honest, but we'll get into that here in a minute. Four generations. New Penguins owners come into the city and Mario Lemieux when spending money. Pittsburgh Penguins. The Pittsburgh officially have new owners as the Hoffman family of companies took control of the organization Thursday. Celebrated with a combination of events, a press conference at PPG Paints Arena where the Penguins play, with panoramic views of the city from luxurious clubs of the backdrop. The press conference was complete with the parade of David Hoffman, but centered on the new team governor Geoff Hoffman, and the head of HOFC and head of real estate Greg Hoffman, who will serve as alternate governor with David Raffer from Rehearsed Answers. The press conference quickly became a homey conversation with Geoff Hoffman, but was unexpectedly joined by David, who wasn't planned speaker but shared his single microphone with several important topics. The plan was far more focusing on upgrading than the previous ownership of the Fenway, which did not address the public on media for nearly 18 months and did not establish a local address either personally or professionally, with a little pondering from his father. Geoff Hoffman made a point to admit that his nuclear family are moving to Pittsburgh shortly after purchasing a house on Squirrel Hill, where all the famous Jewish people live. But that's a suburb near Pittsburgh, if you don't know. Squirrel Hill is a suburb near Pittsburgh. In fact, the entire Hoffman family, with children ranging from teens to toddlers, were in attendance, all wearing Penguin jerseys. If you are curious, most were yellow alternative sweaters. Oh, I guess so. Judy Hoffman made it clear that the family intentions with the team, which drew further point of contrast to current sellers of the Fenway Sports Group, which purchased the team because they were a legacy team with a good value and appropriation to add their collection of premier teams, including the Boston, whatever. I'm not reading all that. John Hoffman views that Pittsburgh much differently than if they had their other way and Pittsburgh had to gain a new family. We're telling some up and downs of business side of the organization. I'm here to tell you all that it has come to an end. We are long-term thinkers. This is from the new owners. We are long-term thinkers, the Hoffman says. It's not an investment for us. You think as a financial investment. This is a commitment to a city and a commitment to an organization, Hoffman said. The Penguins are going to be in Pittsburgh and always are going to be in Pittsburgh as long as the Hoffmans are a part of it. And Hoffmans plan to be a part of this for generations to come. That's a good thing to hear, that the Hoffmans want the Penguins to stay in Pittsburgh and not move. I mean, that's something, like I said, you sweat out as a diehard Penguins fan when they switch ownership. But luckily, the Hoffmans are looking pretty good. Hoffmans. We are really positioned not only to continue that the organization is currently on, but to make investments that are required to remain competitive and create an incredibly special fan experience, which is something that we're focused on too. Among these items, the new owners would like to bring back Ace, as they have spent with former owners and franchise legends Mario Lemieux. I mean, like I said, they want to bring back Mario Lemieux in any capacity for him. That's good. But that's nice to see the Pittsburgh Penguins do that. I mean, that's something the Penguins need. They need to look good and they need to keep doing good. We also have other breaking news to the Pittsburgh Penguins. They made a trade today. The Penguins have made a notable offseason move by acquiring forward Hendrik Lapierre from the Washington Capitals in exchange for a 27th third-round pick and a 28th fifth-round pick, originally San Jose's. Hendrik is 24 years old. He's 6'1", first-round pick in 2020 overall by Washington. First overall pick in 2020, 22nd overall, 158 games played. He has 13 goals, 13 assists, and 47 points. AHL career had 227 goals. But this is an investment. We'll see how good Hendricks can do. Because I don't really know much about Hendricks. But I only watch Washington football. I really don't watch Washington Capitals hockey. But I mean, this is one of the more younger players. So we'll see. I mean, at least he might be proven. So it might be something the Pirates can do. And they really do have a good farm system coming up. So if Kyle Dubas did a good nump on this trade, but like I said in my post, it's a wait and see trade, because I don't really know how good he's going to be for the Pittsburgh Penguins. But congratulations to Hendricks and welcome to the Penguins. And other NHL news, the Avs continue to revamp trade very next nickel season to the Blue Jackets. With Colorado Avalanche trade longtime winger Valerie to the Columbus Blue Jackets on Thursday, continuing to relapse the roster as a playoff disappointment. The Avalanche acquired a 2020 second-round pick and a 34th overall pick from St. Louis via Pittsburgh, as well as Columbus' 27th round first-round pick and 2025th round pick for the 31-year-old winger. Congratulations to him. The Capitals traded for Alex Tuch yesterday and signed him to a new contract, like I said yesterday. The Sabres signed Benson to a 4-year, $52 million, 7-year, $52.5 million contract extension. Congratulations to Benson. Benson's one of the top players for the Blue Jays. For the Buffalo Sabres. And he's looking pretty good for the Buffalo Sabres. So that's a good That's a good place. That's a good thing for the Buffalo Sabres. So congratulations to the Buffalo Sabres. Panthers acquired Gritty Halfway. Acquired Gritty Winger from Grant Hathaway from the Flyers. The Florida Panthers ensured they would not lose any of their grit, with AJ Gear expected to depart in free agency by acquiring Grant Hathaway from the Philadelphia 70 Flyers on Thursday. For extending a 5th-round pick to the draft Saturday and a 4th-round pick for next year, the Philadelphia 34-year-old Ringer Hathaway, who has 1 year left on his contract and salary cap hit of $2.4 million. Congratulations to the Florida Panthers. But I mean, the Florida Panthers got even more better when they got the Kachuk brother, and now it's going to be interesting to see what the Kachuk brother can do. But they did pretty good for the United States. Last night was the NBA draft. Last night was round 2 of the NBA draft. Boston Celtics draft had 1 pick. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Last night was the second round of the NBA draft. Who got drafted, you wonder? Stache Sports will have you covered here in a second and talk about the draft because I don't know all the names. We're back. The draft. Round 2. If you want round 1, go back to yesterday's episode. Round 2, the New York Knicks drafted Bruce Porton, but traded to the Houston Rockets. Richie Saunders got drafted by the Memphis Grizzlies, but traded to Indiana via Milwaukee. Isaiah Evans from Duke got traded to Minnesota, but got drafted by the Brooklyn Nets. He'd probably glad to be in Minnesota. Malik Thomas got drafted by the Sacramento Kings, but got traded to Cleveland. Trent Brazil from Arkansas got traded to Denver, but got drafted by the Spurs. Bubba Miller got drafted by the Clippers. Brendan Canal got traded to Miami Heat. Braden Smith got traded in the end, but got drafted by the Bulls. Jack Herrera got traded to New York Knicks, but got drafted by the Houston Rockets. Dylan Mitchell got traded to Milwaukee via Orlando. Oh, I guess we didn't get the Mitchell, huh? Oh. Boston Celtics selected Dylan Mitchell last night from St. John's University. We'll see how good he can do. Ortega Oweh got traded to Oklahoma City Thunder, but got drafted by the Miami Heat. Jacoby Gillespie got drafted by the San Antonio Spurs. Tyler got drafted by the Clippers. Malachi Brown got drafted by the Spurs. Emmanuel Sharp got drafted by the Sacramento Kings. Felix Opeka got traded to Nashville, but got drafted by the Magic. Tyler Nicole got traded to New York, but got drafted by the the Suns. Toby Laval got drafted from Phoenix to Washington. Bryce Hopkins got drafted by the Phoenix Suns. Jalen Bradley got drafted by Toronto. Oh my God, tell me about this. Nelson got traded to Orlando, but got drafted by Washington. Vazir got traded to Atlanta, but got drafted by the Clippers. Usana got traded to Detroit, but got drafted by the Rockets. Jalen got drafted by the Thunder, Oklahoma City. Golden State Warriors, excuse me. Come on, Craig, let me be. Nick Martini got drafted by New York Knicks, got traded to the Los Angeles Clippers, excuse me. Some guy got traded to Dallas, but got drafted by the Joy got traded to LAC. Lon Price Jr. got, but whatever. A lot of these players you probably won't hear about because I don't know how many of these second round players make it good. But we'll go back in the NBA draft. I know that was a waste of my time, but whatever. We had a breaking news today, an NBA trade. The Minnesota Timberwolves and Charlotte Hornets traded. The Charlotte Hornets traded LaMelo Ball. I wonder if his dad, LeVar Ball, is going to go to Minnesota now and say Minnesota's going to win a championship because LeVar Ball likes to run his mouth a lot and likes to run his mouth and try and never catches a receipt. But LeVar Ball likes to run his mouth a lot. But his son, or LeVar Ball, whatever, his son LaMelo Ball and Josh Green are going to Minnesota. And the Hornets get Nas Reed, a 2020 first round pick, 3 round pick swaps, 28, 29, and 30, and 3 second round picks, 29, 32, and 33. But we'll see. But congratulations to him. That's a good trade, I think. I think LaMelo Ball will mold well pretty good, and Anthony Edwards in that organization. I think that's a good trade for the Minnesota Timberwolves. But congratulations to Minnesota. Thank you for watching another episode of Stache Sports. Tomorrow we'll recap the United States game against Turkey. We'll talk more about other sports, talk about the upcoming Pittsburgh Pirates game, and talk more about other sports. But thank you for watching another episode of Stache Sports. This is Stache Sports signing off.